For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Maryland seek recognition?
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk.
Clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment number 18, printed in Part A of House Report number 114-326, offered by Ms. Edwards of Maryland.
Pursuant to House Resolution 512, the gentlewoman from Maryland, Ms. Edwards, and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Maryland.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you again to the chairman and to the ranking member. Ms. Comstock, Representative Comstock of Virginia, and I have an amendment that's at the desk, and I don't have to tell my colleagues who ride Metro every day to and from work of the issues that WMATA Metro has had with safety, performance, and management. Our bipartisan amendment gives the Secretary of the United States Department of Transportation the authority to appoint the 4 federal members to the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority Board. Currently, the General Services Administration has this sole authority and shares oversight responsibilities of the federal board members with the U.S. Department of Transportation. The WMATA Board determines the agency's policy and provides oversight for the funding, operation, and expansion of transit facilities. We've worked closely with Senator Mikulski of Maryland on this issue, and she's introduced a bill in the Senate that is co-sponsored both by all 3 other local senators, Cardin, Warner, Kane of Virginia. From various conversations we've had, the Secretary of Transportation is also aware of this issue and is supportive of the Department of Transportation taking over. General Services Administration has stated that, quote, this was never in our wheelhouse, and WMATA does not oppose this change. I want to thank the chairs Chaffetz and Meadows and ranking members Cummings and Connolly for working with us, since the amendment also falls under the jurisdiction of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. They've cleared this amendment. Before I close, I want to remember our late colleague and former colleague on the Transportation Committee, Howard Coble, who died last night. He represented the 6th Congressional District of North Carolina, including the town I was born in, Yanceyville, North Carolina. He will be sorely missed by all of us and his longtime constituents and service with us. May he rest in peace, and with that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlewoman reserves, claims time in opposition. For what purpose does the gentleman from Missouri rise?
Mr. Chairman, although I don't oppose the amendment, I'd ask unanimous consent to claim the time in opposition.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This particular amendment really is in the jurisdiction of the Government Reform Committee, and with that, they are in favor of the amendment. So we're going to urge our colleagues to support it, and we're not going to oppose it. And with that, I would reserve the balance.
Gentleman reserves. Gentlelady from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm prepared to close if the gentleman is prepared to close.
Absolutely. With that, I'll yield back to the
gentleman. Yields back. Gentlewoman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you. And I would just like to say it's been a real pleasure to be able to work with Ms. Comstock on this amendment. It's very rare that we have opportunities to work across the aisle and also across the Capitol to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our transit system here in the metropolitan Washington area that serves so many millions of both federal workers and tourists from all of our different states and jurisdictions. It's really clear that the General Services Administration in this day and age is probably not the most appropriate place for the appointment of these members of the board. It is dutifully to be placed with the Department of Transportation, to which they've agreed, and I thank our colleagues for all agreeing to this as well. And with that, I would yield the balance of my time.
Gentlelady yields back. The question is on the amendment offered by the gentlewoman from Maryland. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to.